Excuse me. Hello. Hi. So this video was not sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts. Today we're gonna do what we began yesterday, which is it's the autumnal equinox, which means we're officially into the fall. I'm excited for cooler weather. Labor season has begun. When we just saw Libra, the energy around Libra was one of almost like needing to allow for things to play out before needing to allow for things to play out more fully before action was done for the purpose of correction. Right. Excuse me. When we just saw the card of bottom, which was the final card from the uh, watermelon alchemy, the tree was heavy with gold, and gold was about to rain down. So let's get into it. I'm using the watermelon, not the watermelon, the Spirit Keepers Tarot, Vitruvian, and Revelations editions to see what Virgo season and beyond, what lesson is left for us, or something for us to be mindful of, what Libra season is going to bring, and then like one of the first things coming out of Libra season. I didn't realize. I might start using my tripod just to reduce some of the camera wiggle. Well, no, that wouldn't help. That might. One second. I could have thought of this before. Uh, you know what? We'll save it for next time. We'll save it for next time because I don't want to start touching stuff and then mess up the live like I did the audio and like some of the stuff that was like the cards that were coming out after the audio messed up. I was like, oh my gosh. That's why I was like, maybe it wasn't for me to even say anything. This is between you and the divine, or me and the divine, or us individually and collectively in the divine. So the way I do this, no clarifiers, meaning there aren't any cards I'm looking for. It's just the first three cards or first three energies. But oh gosh. Okay. The joyous one turned over, Ten of Cups. And then all of these cards fell out. Not today. Sorry. And then the Erudite is there. Um, yeah. So that's I could do this here. First three energies that come out of what Virgo season has taught us. Just got a message from the number one fan asking if I was busy. I was like, I just put go live like 3 minutes ago. All right, Virgo season. Three energies. I need a clean flip for the cards to fall out. There's been like these slow flips, this chaos. Not necessarily a bad thing. Somebody had a good chaos. I feel like I feel like it might have been Virgo. Well, Virgo had a there was a chaos in Virgo because Virgo was like actively attracting something, and then like switching or aligning or fine tuning that magnetism mid attraction. Right. Virgo season. I'm actually, yeah, we're going to start with Libra season. I'm going to go from the bottom to the top. Libra season, introduction to Libra season, and then Virgo season. And that's one of the things that I like about having a new moon lunation cycle within the zodiac season before the full moon. Because it feels like when you have the new moon first, you kind of sort of like know where you're going or what you're trying to get to. And then when the full moon comes, you sort of have a better idea of what it is specifically that you might want to release. Because then it's like you can go for things that don't necessarily align with what is already presenting itself rather than like doing the full moon release and then just like, I don't know, anything and everything kind of sort of come to find you. So Libra season, first energy of Libra season. Looks like the Herald of the Waters, Page of Cups, Inspire the Prodigy. Where are my glasses? Yeah, Inspire the Prodigy. Second is the Politics, Three of Scepters. And the last one is the Road, Seven of Swords. Moon in Aquarius, Sun in Aries. So the internet has been abuzz by the internet. My little phone news feed, Google News, whatever. I've seen a few things about Earth having a new moon temporarily. And I've seen maybe like a YouTube video or something on Facebook about it. There's like an asteroid or something that's going to be, it's like it's going to fly by Earth, get caught in the gravitational field, go around a few times, and then like slingshot out into the universe. So it's like Earth's gravitational field is strong enough to attract it, but not strong enough to like hold it or keep it, to like lock it down and lock it into place. And I bring it up because of this shooting star and the Seven of Swords and the moon that's there. Now, I wonder what astrology has to say about when that happens. You know what I mean? When we have another moon, a second moon, Saturn, and then one of the videos said that Earth actually has like seven. I think it was like seven satellites or something that is picked up that don't like count as moons for whatever. Like we still only have one moon, one permanent moon, but it said like there are seven satellites. Seven satellites, seven swords. Bottom of the deck is the defector. Saturn in Pisces. Saturn is currently in Pisces. The defector or the deflector? Look at this. Satisfaction. We're gonna pull a card face down. This one to be the message of the herald of the waters. Was like one of the first energies of Libra season. Our introduction of Libra season. Oop, okay. The bread of life. Ace of orbs, the deepening. Excuse me. Such an interesting energy. Bottom of the deck is the Archangel of Mysteries, angel who illuminates the shadow. So in this deck, the Archangel of Mysteries is presenting that pinnacle, the orb. In the Vitruvian edition, she has it under lock and key. And then you see the corn there. There's like this pine cone with the grass in it here. See, it's like literally being handed over. Under the Archangel of Mysteries is the Reaper, passage to initiation. And then the joyous one, Ten of Pentacles under that. Ten of Cups, the same Ten of Cups in the other deck that had all those cards faced in. This is interesting. It feels like the first thing that Labor season is offering, or it feels like the first thing that we encounter in Libra season is some kind of offering, probably from the divine, or through like circumstance or something like that. But it's from this angel who illuminates the shadow. It's not bad. It's like this Ace of Pentacles, and it could be related to something because back here with the Archangel of Mysteries, maybe this is something that we felt coming for a minute, and like now it's like being like it's like if it were in slow motion, someone like coming to hand you something, and it's like this is when they're like right in front of you. Now it's interesting because Queen of Swords is cardinal air, which is Libra. The energy of the Queen of Swords has been around not only as the heir of the Empress, but also there was a Queen of Swords that was like holding the sword up but sticking her hand out like you may approach or whatever. This bread of life ace of pentacles, ace of orbs is more so being approached. Archangel of healing, angel who salves and purifies. That was the card that comes with the Herald of the Waters, Inspire the Prodigy. Hey, Holly, how you doing? I'm doing all right, I guess. I feel like the I feel like the eclipse finally hit me today, and I'm like the lunar eclipse, and I'm like, oof. But I'm doing well, thank you. How are you? So this is reading like this is reading like, let's say there is some kind of, the Seven of Swords is my card of birthright in the Wide Unknown tarot specifically. That's where the meaning of birthright originated within that deck, within whatever context. The politic feels like this is a prophesied time because these three many emperor energies come together, seeking a prophecy. They gaze into the fires and see a prophecy. The three wands symbolize past, present, and future. And then with this archangel of healing, that is the message. The archangel of the archangel of healing that is connected to this herald of the waters. I feel like we've seen a herald connected to its archangel recently. Excuse me, I can't remember what element, but we see this her, the sleeping giantess lady, and this archangel of healing whose eyes are closed. It feels like there's something about this time that's special, and there's some kind of healing or something that's been done that the criteria for the distribution of the birthright has been fulfilled. And so one of the first things that'll happen is for someone to receive it. Now, this feels like it can span the gamut um, in terms of how large or how small or what this is specifically. And I almost wonder if whoever this is for wouldn't even necessarily recognize what this is when they first receive it. Trying to make sure I have these up right. All right. Now from Virgo season. And Libra season is like with it being the autumnal equinox, it does herald a season of harvesting. And again, we've just seen autumn with the tree whose branches were heavy with gold. First energy is the stronghold of the flame, herald of the awakening for Virgo season. Second energy, or are we gonna get that first? Oops, oh my gosh. Second energy landed face down in between my feet. The golden shield, power and authority of fire. So page of fire, um, queen of fire. The queens are shields. The kings are the archangels in the SKC. Third energy is two. It's between the wish granted and New World Order, crown of the Magi and nine of chalices. The necromancer, gateway of resurrection at the bottom of the deck, which is the opposite of Virgo. I mean, in Pisces, we did just have a lunar eclipse, full in Pisces. Hey, Janelle, how you doing? Oh, let's see. Random card. Not this one. I want to say not this, but this. I don't know why I'm doing it that way. Because a- so not the defector. This is a card that was at the bottom of the deck because I was like, the deflector, not the defector, but the champion. This immediately is very like it's like something isn't running away, like a strategic retreat isn't running away. There's an I Ching. I don't remember the I Ching or the number, but I feel like there's one that talks about a retreat or something. That could also be like not walking away from something, but standing your ground, which, excuse me, would be related to something like the Fool, the Knight of Cups, the Two of Cups, and Strength that came out in the Carnival of Time yesterday. We saw the Defector in the other deck because I remember uh, it was in full color. I'm pretty sure it was the other deck. It's almost like there is something that called fire to the forefront in Virgo season or before. It could have like culminated in Virgo season or like in Virgo season. Yeah, something reached a culmination point. Um, and it's almost like there was an opportunity to almost like walk away from something or to like rise to the occasion. In rising to the occasion, or in a choice or decision to rise to the occasion, in a commitment between you and your inner you, the inside of you that connects to the divine, or between you and the divine, there's some kind of commitment to something. Like you made some kind of commitment. And whatever this commitment is related to, it involves more than just you. That's why your wish granted is coming out under the same umbrella as New World Order. And because of that, or it's like in order to see that through, there's something of yours that you must be given access to. That's where the energy of birthright comes in. It's like you need access to your birthright in order to do whatever it is in this fated time or appointed time. And because you need access to it again, it's like it's given to you. Or maybe there's some knowledge or information that you need in order to better navigate something or to make a more educated decision. And so you're going to be given that like knowledge or whatever. And this could almost be like related to something that you've taken on too. Because again, it's like it's not the Eight of Cups, it's the champion. It's not, or it's not the defector, it's the champion. It's not one that would walk away and go like, "Oh, well, this isn't my problem." And there's something about this now that I've gone through the cards. There's something about this Archangel of Healing and the symbol on her face. If it'll focus, it may not focus. It reminds me of the Journeyman and the Vitruvian edition. So I'm gonna pull before and after. Under the Necromancer is the Tower. Under the Tower is the Magus. Under the Magus is the Warrior. The Moon, the Tower, the Magician, and the Sun. Oh, between the Sun and the Moon, the Tower and the Magician. So yeah, very this. Like there was something maybe not even necessarily completely in the forefront of things that you made a choice and decision, because here's that same moon, not to walk away, but to use your sovereignty in some way, honestly, with this champion. You chose to engage your sovereignty rather than be like, whatever. And because you chose to engage sovereignty and because you stand behind that sovereignty, again, that's what gives you access to whatever because of this fated time. And this is the axe of Shiva that removes corruption in this tower. The magician is divinity in man, powers of spirit, and then master of the mystic light. Divinity in man and master of the mystic light, both of these are one. Excuse me, numerologically. Interesting. Interesting. Here it is. The corruptor is behind the card, behind the card, behind the Eight of Pentacles is the corruptor. Before that is the outlaw and the seeker. So on one side the corruptor, on the other side the outlaw and the seeker. Again, the that's the axe that removes corruption. And we have these two crescent moons on that axe. But it's not like this isn't the crown of the triple goddess or whatever, because those crescent moons face outward, these crescent moons face inward. So with the symbols on the journeyman here, there's like a symbol, there's like a V at least on the forehead of the Archangel of Healing in the Vitruvian edition. Oh, there you go. You can kind of see it. And it reminded me of this card. So It's like you stand something about Libra season is going to have you in the position to be this archangel of healing. So maybe this is you and this is your almost benefactor. That is the divine that stands beside you or whatever. Or like that's the aspect of the divine that you channel, that you embody as you go and do whatever. And there were a few signs, Capricorn, maybe Scorpio. I forget. I know Capricorn was one of them. I think it was actually Capricorn and Sagittarius. Capricorn was like a validated deliverer of whatever. Sagittarius, or was I feel like it was Sagittarius that was like ordained by the divine to do something. Because like there's a difference between, and I talked to my number one fan about it, and she was like, yeah, like there's a difference between like having a gift or having an ability and then like being ordained by the divine to do something. And the difference is it's almost like if you just have a gift, skill, or ability, like you can do, like there's no charge on that. Meaning it's not like this is something that you have to do in order to. I feel like I'm not doing a good job of communicating that. Like if you have a gift, skill, or an ability, you can just do whatever, right? You can align to the divine, or you can align to personal gain, or you can align to whatever you want to align to. But it's like when you're ordained by the divine, it's almost like you entering into an agreement with the divine, going like, I will be on earth someone who uses this for the highest good of people and like for the greater glory of God, basically, essentially, right? It's like that kind of energy because there is a lot of like talented, gifted, whatever people who can use those for anything, personal gain, whatever, right? And again, it's almost like something in Libra season will have you almost playing the role of a healer, but the healing that you give is like healing that people are assigned. What are the words? I feel like y'all know what I'm talking about. I feel like y'all know what I'm getting at. Like, let's say that there's someone who's praying for healing and the divine is listening to their prayers and they go, okay, like we will give you this healing. But sometimes the divine moves through people. You could say oftentimes or most times the divine moves through people. So you are the person that the divine is going to give this healing to somebody else through. You are the medium, literally the medium through which those divine waters flow so that they can reach whoever they're intended to reach. You are the channel for that. And again, it's a difference between like being a channel open to whatever and like being the designated channel. I don't know specifically exactly what the difference is. I don't think it's for me to know. It's again, it feels like it's like when you are ordained by the divine or when you become a validated, certified, whatever, that's a covenant that you enter with the divine, and you all know the conditions and everything about that. It's almost like you get assigned. And again, it's like because that is your charge, because that is the role that you're stepping in to fulfill, that's why your birthright, like that's why you have to be given access. Now, whatever other rules and stipulations or whatever is on top of that, none of that is here because it's going to be different for everyone. Um, but again, it does feel like it's connected to a genuine desire or wish. Now, the journeyman, which is Sun in Virgo, the Sun was just in Virgo, LOL, is in between a swirling gale and spirit in search of experience, the initiate and the shining wings. Oh, there's something that's like the returning glory of something, or it's like the truth of something. This isn't like the energy of prophecy has kind of sort of been swirling around too lately. What comes to mind is these are the times that try men's souls. But I would imagine, Patrick, me, would imagine that the times that try men's souls, like we've been in those times. And the times where men's souls were tried, you rose here and almost, again, use your personal sovereignty to take it upon yourself to. So it's very much so, it's with the chosen. It's not about, like, there are those who are chosen and then there are those who choose, basically. Are like chosen because you choose to be chosen, not because whatever. And this also there it was a while ago. It was like years ago. There was something about old souls and like even if someone isn't an old soul per se, they can still like step up into a role. Like anybody can step up. Anybody can have a voice or anybody can use their voice in whatever type of way. Anyone can be recognized. Anyone can be ordained. Anyone can catch the favor of the divine. And it's something about the heart and it's something about the soul that is the kindling for the spark of the flame, the image of the creator that we're made in, that like activates that. Right. And again, it's like that is recognized or has been recognized. And because it's recognized, there's something that will be given in order to assist someone in whatever they're doing. And there's something, here, this moon is like this necromancer symbolizes the innermost chambers of the self. And with the hermit, so for me, the hermit has a two-part journey. There's the part that the hermit, there's a part of the hermit's journey that is guided by the Hierophant. The hermit gets the lantern from the Hierophant. And with the lens of the Hierophant, it goes within, and there are things that it discovers, and there are things that it can see with the light of the Hierophant. But like the empty room and the water known archetypes, there are certain things that can't be seen with the light of another. And so at a certain point, the hermit has to trade the light of the Hierophant for its own internal light. And when the hermit finds its own star, that then shines into the vastness of itself, that's when it begins to see those other things that, again, that the Hierophant can't illuminate because at that point it's between you and your creator. And so I'm seeing that as like this there's this moon in the internal scape, and there's like it's eclipsed. So you can never fully see like everything that's there. But this Archangel of Mystery, excuse me, illuminating the shadows, it's like it causes this, what's blocking the moon to like move. And so now it's like an internal full moon. So again, you can see those things that are more and more of like your birthright or that are characteristic of your birthright. I put these back on the wrong. And it's like those are the things, it feels like those are the things that all of the mysticism and the rules and stuff like that that try to get you to that place. It's like being granted free access without needing to follow whatever process journey, uh, whatever written, whatever. Because again, in these cards with the journeyman, it feels like there's something that fast tracks, or it's like there's a shortcut that appears. Like I'm watching this anime because I'm always watching something or dreaming about something, and they're going in a labyrinth dungeon, and there's a lot of pitfall traps. The dungeon was originally designed to have pitfalls on lower floors, but the person who designed it went pitfall happy. So people were using the pitfalls to get to like lower floors. So you don't have to like explore the whole floor or find the staircase. If you fall into the pitfall, it like shortcuts you down another floor. And again, there's something about the way that an individual moves, conclusions that they reach inside of themselves, like really earnest desires and wishes of the heart and from the heart that the divine hears. And it's like it awakens something. And then it's like all of these pitfalls open so you can get like a lot deeper, a lot quicker. And again, it feels like it's related to whatever this timing or prophecy or like the times that we live in. And this is something that goes like even deeper than the archangels. And it's because of the 5 by 5 square up here compared to the 3 by 3 here. And maybe that's because, when you pray to the divine, And when you pray for something to happen on your behalf, you're not necessarily the one that's actually doing the thing. And so the puzzle is almost like a little less complicated. But when you are the one that is going to be moving again on behalf of the divine in real life, that's why it's more sort of like complicated here. And this could be like anything. Again, I don't know if I should listen. If it's like something that you do, however you operate and move within the divine. There, it's feeling like there's something that you have to carry, though, if you want to be granted access or when you are granted access to that. Because again, there's something that obscures the moon that the archangel of mysteries has removed, but handed is handing to you. Like with great power comes great responsibility, type of whatever this burden of responsibility is. It's like that's also something that you agree to take on. And it feels like for like that's the sacrifice that's also made in the champion, the one that sticks out of the knee. Um, there's like some burden of something that you have to carry. It feels like conviction makes the burden a lot lighter, which then takes me back to I think it was the one of the Innistrad Magic the Gathering booster packs. Like it was in my mind, and then as soon as I said that, it faded. Oh yeah, it was. I think it was like the Bramble armor. There was something powerful that we would think only the good guys have access to this, whatever. But it's like it doesn't necessarily recognize intention. It more so recognizes conviction, meaning like a decisiveness. Um, so it's like it only recognizes an unwavering will. Now the will could do anything. And sometimes there are those that don't have the best intentions, but that are unwavering in that. And then it's like, well, why do good things happen to bad people? It's not necessarily that in particular. It's just something that kind of, I think it's because of how conviction can make this a lot lighter. Maybe it's more so just that there are things that recognize different things. Some of them do recognize intention. Some of them may recognize conviction. Some of them may recognize like indecision. Some things. It feels like there are virtues, triumphs, and um, pitfalls. I can't think of a word of human nature that these things will recognize and like play on. But this one is more so something like virtue, more like conviction. Cool. And I don't know, like I feel like I want to pull more on it, but Also, don't feel like I'm supposed to. Maybe two. I don't know how long lasting this may necessarily be. Like, there may be a time in your life that you're like really like your ability to manifest things is like through the roof, right? And it's something between these two cards, between this like faded time and the energy of the like for the 2 month period where the extra moon is around Earth. Maybe that's like extra juice here where it's easier to move things, easier to do things. But then after that, slingshots and goes to wherever it's going next, then we may fall under regular circumstance. Or it's like in a time of great change and great transition, it's easy to manifest. It's easy to take advantage of the chaos of opportunity. But when things start to settle into place, then it may be like regular, normal, whatever. And then again, too, like if it's decided that there is a need, and because of that need, there are those who step up in some way. When the need diminishes, then it may not be necessary. I don't know. But there are also two ways in which we are forever changed. You know, things that once we learn, we don't unlearn. So I don't know. Why Libra season? Again, it's our introduction into the fall. It's cardinal, air, autumnal equinox, so through autumn or spring in the southern hemisphere. Maybe when winter comes, things will have been decided. I suppose like it's a lot for Libra season, but maybe it isn't. Cool. I did pull a card from the Vitruvian, which was the journeyman. Um, I could look at the force or the warrior. I'm kind of leaning towards the warrior, but I could also do something like the dark horse because there are cards in the Vitruvian, sorry, in the Revelations edition where you can see the divine energies that back the character at the foreground of the card. And the dark horse is one of those that I that you know of. I also don't have to, but I feel like I want to. The destroyer. That's what we're gonna look for after. Oh snap! Look at this. So at the bottom of the deck, I already showed you the Reaper and the Joyous one. Then there's the title card and New World Order. Cool. And the Dynasty goes under that. What am I looking for? The Destroyer. And then we will be done. Show the finish. I'm gonna have to potty. Drink too much liquid. So before is the contender, Five of Wands. After is the Empress. Behind the Empress is the Dark Horse. See in the Dark Horse in the background, you see like the divine nature. What was it? The Magus, Divinity and Man, Powers of Spirit, maybe the Empress and the Contender. So the reason why I went for the Destroyer is because the Destroyer, especially in the Revelations edition of the Spirit Keeper's Tarot, is um, the shaman embodying and like flexing their spiritual power. Excuse me. And it was in between the Herald of the Winds, Ventures of the Dauntless, and the Chariot of Osiris. There you go. Now, because this is another page. Archangel Commander, because of course, it would be the Archangel Commander. Literally, Angel of Storms and Battles for this Page of Swords, Ventures of the Dawn. I feel like again, this is something that's happening more and more recently. We'll see the page connected to either the Archangel or the shield of the same element. Like we had Page and King of Cups energies, Page and Queen of Wands, and now Page and King of Swords. And again, this is the Destroyer. Now, how that came to be, it was a few years ago now. The story of the Archangel Commander has been, it was more so at one point. It's like you pray to Archangel Michael for something to move or happen. You pray to the divine for something to move or to happen. Archangel Michael or the divine goes, the story is Michael's like, I don't have my sword. And then we're like, what do you mean? Like you're Archangel Michael. You always had the sword, the flaming sword. Hello. And he's like, yeah, it fell to earth and I don't have it. So your journey, your mission is to find the sword and to free yourself. And so you find the sword of Michael. You don't know how it works. You do your best. You end up taking care of whatever you need to take care of. And then you go back to Archangel Michael at the end of it. And you're like, "Whew, oh my gosh, it worked out somehow. Thank you so much. Like, here's your sword back." And Archangel Michael's like, "What are you talking about?" And you're like, "Your sword, like the whole reason why you couldn't help me, why I had to help myself." And Archangel Michael's like, "That's not my sword." And you're like, What do you mean?" And the Archangel Michael's like, "I have my sword. Like, I'm Archangel Michael. Who like I always have the sword." And then you're like, "Oh my gosh, like that's what I was saying." But you said when you couldn't help me, blah blah blah, whatever. And it's this whole thing. It was to get you, to empower you to rise within yourself, to embody whatever you had to embody, to champion, however, to be your own champion. Because maybe somewhere down the road, the divine is going to use you to help somebody else. At this point, you don't necessarily know that. All you know is you feel like you've been tricked, bamboozled, deceived because you have to do something instead of the divine doing it. So Michael's like, okay, well, now that you have your sword, like, let me teach you how to use it. And so then there's some like training boot camp sparring match with Archangel Michael. But again, that was like before. Now that that's happened, it feels like there's some kind of proficiency. And maybe that's the thing that encouraged you to use your sovereignty, to use the divinity within you to move something instead of like walking away from it and throwing your hands up. Maybe that's why you felt so confident in doing it. And again, whatever is given to you because of it. So now you become a part of the driving force that is moving things forward with the chariot of Osiris. The chariot of Osiris is resurrected, and again, gateway of resurrection, necromancer, with the tower behind it. Cool. I don't know. So maybe now, like, you just free roam. You get in your little caravan and you wander the world and search for things that you believe you can make better. Or, you go about your mission. And when you need to, you step into that part where you embody the divinity within you to like handle some stuff. And then you just, again, you hunt back in your chariot and you keep it moving. And Archangel Michael's like, yeah, like proud of you and, you know, proud of you and stuff. But again, like this is a different path because this is the path of the embodiment of the healer. And it could be similar in some ways. Maybe you're multifaceted. I don't know. Anyway, sure. I'm glad I did that. Whew. All right. Before I get into final cards, I'm gonna run to the bathroom because your boy's got a potty. All right. Hmm. Cool. So is this the part where I say that like this resonates for me too? Like, I don't know. It does. Like I tell y'all, like I've said, I have a gift of connection. And my gift of connection manifests in a few ways that I can think of. Again, it's like empathic ability. Sometimes it's knowledge. Um, and sometimes it's like a resonance gauge. It impacts my discernment and intuition. So there are ways, I guess. Is that the Emperor? Yeah, it's the Emperor. LOL. And then there's the Destroyer. Oh my gosh. See, in this version, it's that energy. Anyway, put the cards back. I've been, I feel like I'm in this place where I'm in a place where there are like gifts, not gifts. There are gifts that I have, and then there's the weight of my belief. And the weight of my belief, I kind of link to my sovereignty in terms of like when it comes to certain things happening in the world. And I feel like I'm in this place of like standing in my sovereignty, but it's reached the point where to really engage my gift of connection, I can't remain separate or isolated. So that's part of the reason why I stopped using the subscribers only mode. And I guess, and even like before I went to, like literally the day before I went to Maine to uh, spend time with Eve on her birthday, I was talking with my number one fan about the whole like, it's reached that point where I can't necessarily at least remain in the energy of wanting to be the anonymous, unknown, unseen, whatever in my little corner of the internet, just, you know. And now there's a part of me, I got a few personal readings. I guess I feel like for normal people, they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, like everything is like aligning. I'm so excited." To me, I'm like, I feel like I just walked into a trap. It's a setup. Powder pie at the bottom of the deck. Um, but and then there's this whole timing thing. Um, where let me see. It was before that. Here it is. So what day was this? June 15th. From June 15th to like within this past week, there was this sort of phase. Or I've been working through this point of like no longer wanting to be like unseen or whatever. And so I just have to I'm battling myself, you could say. The eclipse happened in my 12th house. I thought maybe it passed me by. Today it caught me. Circumstances would see me caught. And of course, there's a part of me that wanted it because whatever. Um, but anyway, getting back to this, like if I were to, wow, as I'm thinking about it, I'm like thinking about like my mom, conversations I've had with my mom and my grandma, and just like on my maternal side, different ways that I see like this manifested, and it is like generational. Um, like people do it, and here I am trying to do it, but again, like I can't do it and continue to remain disconnected. There are certain gifts and certain things that I can do and like remain unconnected, but to play my energetic part or whatever, I can't continue to sort of be there. So it's requiring a change from me. And again, it's like it's been a slow process. My word for this year is embrace. And there are a lot of things that I can embrace, and there are some things I'm just like, and I was even telling Eve, I was like, with my gift of connection, the reason why I love cards is because like I don't have to get as deep into the energy, and I don't have to get as deep into some energies, and I like the distance, the boundary, the barrier. But you know, maybe at least temporarily it comes down. So for me, again, personally, I can see how that resonates. But because of who I am, how I operate, how I'm wired, and what charges or gives power, what sustains those things, it's connection. Ten of Cups, Three of Swords. Oof. All right, that's enough soundtrack. And then, like when the audio went out on the last video, like I couldn't even because I was like, "Oh, y'all ain't gonna hear me anyway," so I can just say. And even when I knew that y'all couldn't hear me, I couldn't say it. So, and then things happened, and I sent Eve a text. I'm like, "The eclipse finally got me. The emotions, they're coming for me now." Ah, the Golden Shield, Sanctum of Splendor. Again, we just saw the Golden Shield in Virgo season. Now we have the Wheel of Life. The Sphinx, Destiny Turning. So I was gonna do a thing and do because I know that my guiding principle has shifted and changed. Under this new guiding principle, I can't like a new guiding principle requires a different operational drive, operating drive, because the guiding principle is different. A lot of stuff is different. And it kind of sort of like caught me one day because I always say, like, at the end of the thing, and whatever you need along your path, journey, and way, I hope you find. But one day it was like, well, what if somebody like needs you? Or like, what if you're the thing that someone like finds along their path, journey, and way? Because oh, maybe like, ew, don't. And my mom will be like, you can't be like that. And I'm like, watch me. That's like, oh gosh. Um, I have a gift of connection, so it doesn't. The whole thing gets thrown out of whack when I'm not in the space to truly, genuinely, authentically connect. And I like do truly, genuinely, authentically connect, but there's like a cap, and it's like it's to remove that whatever and just be open. So I feel like I can't stop rolling my eyes when I think about it. And I'm sure it's sad to some degree. But it is what it is. Maybe that's what. So like according to the cards, right? Because there was a thing that the Archangel of Mysteries removes that whatever was eclipsing the moon, but hands it to the Bread of Life. And so like that's the thing that I have to hold. It's the weight of connection. Because I said it recently. I was like, oh, it was in a recent life, probably within the past week or 2 weeks. I was like, yeah, I have a gift of connection, blah, blah, blah. And then after I ended the live, I was like, wow, sometimes it feels like a curse of connection. But it only feels like a curse when I don't want to like connect, you know? Then it's like, whatever. Yeah. And now I'm like, I guess I just gotta be open to it. And that's just what I hold. That's what I hold on to now. So like garlic knots, I literally almost ordered garlic knots from the pizza place the other day. but I got garlic bread instead. So yeah, that's what I hold on to. That's a thing. I've seen a few different things where it's like there's something that like powers you up or whatever, but you have to hold something and it only works as long as you hold it. And like as soon as you let go, the power is whatever. I'm just like, ooh. 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 But I had a dream a while ago too. Um, again, to me, it's a gift of connection. So it's easier sometimes than others. Anyway, all right, final card. I've said whatever I needed to say. Trying to get me out. Of the way. The Kindred, Three of Chalices, with the Shining Waters. What is it? The ending at the bottom of the deck, and the Captor behind that. Speaking of lunar eclipses, oh, see the moon. This came out recently, and it felt like the Norse compass or whatever on the moon was like a lot. It felt like it was a lot. And again, under the imagery of the Archangel of Mysteries on eclipsing that moon so we can get a full moon, full illumination on a deeply internal space. There's like when that moon is unlocked, it's this portal to some kind of watery realm. And I don't know if something comes out of it or what. It's just when it's unlocked, it's some kind of portal. Anything beyond that is your own intuition. Medicine. Divinity and Man, Divinity and Man, Powers of Spirit was at the cut with the title card. As above, so below. Now it's that page of cups again. Oh, Ace of Swords. Okay, final card from the Vitruvian edition of the SKT Police. Ooh, ooh, what was that? The Vagabond and the Hunt made some noise, but they didn't come out. And then the Healer. The Vagabond, the Hunt, and the Healer. It's like really warm. Oh my gosh, you can see the beads of sweat. The Nocturne, Ace of Scepters. The Nocturne is at the bottom of the deck. Sacred Fire, Ace of Scepters, The Awakening is what came in. We've been in the land of take it as it resonates. My brain operates in that. My Mercury is in my 12th house in Pisces. So um Try to get to the water. So there's that thing inside. It's almost like because we are men, humankind, created in the image of the divine. There's a spark of the divine within all of us. But we are also like we're both divine and sort of like cardinal. And oftentimes it's like it's the cardinal that eclipses the divine or the divinity within man. And so it feels like it's something very dense related to our humanity that has to be moved in order for more and more and more expressions of the divine from within to flow out, right? And it feels like that's what we have to hold. We have to hold our humanity or something that is it's more than just our humanity, but it's like we have to hold something that represents our humanity and a whole bunch of other stuff while the capital I is like moving through us or as we are in the space of like exercising whatever that divine birthright is. And it's like as that thing is uneclipsed and the portal is open, there's this like sacred fire that can like radiate out of us. It's like in one of those movies where you see like beams of light pouring out of somebody's eyes and mouth or whatever, the orifices. Could you imagine? Sorry. That's like the sacred fire. And then the nocturne, Jupiter and Capricorn. There's like the North Node world and the South Node world, and this snake in between. Now it's like while the snake is biting its own tail, there's some kind of bridge that's open that would allow for people to transit one to the other. But if the snake were to let go, that's when we're like locked. So that could just be a representation of like something about this 2 month period where we have an extra moon, something about how palpable change is that almost anything could happen right now. But after things sort of settle, we may fall under a different circumstance. I still don't know what that necessarily means. The thing that we have to hold. Um, I pull cards, I read them, and then I go about my day. So I guess that's cool. We're interested. We're entering an interesting time, if nothing else. Um, yeah, I hope y'all have an amazing whatever whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in line with make all that you wish to experience your reality. I hope that whatever you need along your path journey that you find. And until next time, I feel like there's something I don't know, I feel like there's something left unsaid, but sometimes it's important to leave gaps to be filled when the time is right. So I will continue processing this new whatever and living my life. And I hope you, well, I'll just end this. Well, you know what? I'm going to ask my favorite virtual assistant, which isn't Siri. We're going to ask Bixby because Bixby's been neglected. Heads if there's something more, tails if we shut it down. Hey, Bixby. Oh wait, I gotta make sure you can hear it. All right. Hey Bixby, flip a coin, please.
All right, here comes the flip. Looks like it came up heads.
Heads. Bixby says there's something more. What more would there be? We're already at an hour and 25 minutes. There are I have affirmation cards. Am I gonna pull one of them? Actually, this is what I'm gonna do. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba-da. I'm gonna do. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. This is what I'm do, 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 do. I'm gonna get a Bloomberg card because we used these recently, right? I do not. All of my dragon decks are in storage. I don't think I do. I don't think so. I was just in the storage. I contemplated getting a few more decks out or just like bringing my one thing. But I didn't. So let's hope for the best. Do, 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 boo, boo, boo. Oh. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Oh, I was like, how did I open this? Oh, it just like opens. And then you slide this out and you see all the cards that were in here. Yeah, let's see. Hey Bixby, roll a die.
Okay, here we go. Let's see what comes up. And the die reads 6.
Six, that's so many. You get six cards. I feel like I've done these long enough ago. I don't even remember. All right. Oh, let's begin. No. Oh gosh. What's that? Mera? Muera? The trash tactician came out in reverse, but out upright is take out the trash. Wow, that's on the oof. Take out the trash, deals them disgusting, revolting, effective. We're just gonna go for the flavor text because whatever this trash tactician represents, it's been taken out. So the trash is already taken out. That's two cards. Next is run away together. Nobody bothered to look for Lebo and Pulla because everyone knew they didn't want to be found. Take out the trash, run away together. Curious forager. The bones of calamity beasts are sometimes buried in caches where their power can grow quietly. And then we have this forest. the curious forager in the forest. And lastly, the ravine raider. The path to the cliff of heroes is rife with bandits, expertly camouflaged in the dense flora of the valley. So those are the six cards. And I guess that just it almost reads as like there's one thing that's already been sort of like done, right? Or accomplished. Or at the end of this will be something else. But it's almost like life will always be like there will always be some kind of challenge in life. But it's almost like there will always be some kind of challenge in life, but we don't have to like focus on it and not in a bypassing way. It's like if you are to manifest a future for yourself or whatever, like to make it realistic, you don't have to include challenge in your manifestation. Or like even if you know that there's always going to be challenge in life because life is life as long as you're living it, you don't have to like surrender anything to it because it's going to be there. I feel like I don't really know how to communicate it. And like we're in Libra Aries now. We're not even happy early birthday, Holly. Or birthday. I'm pretty sure your birthday isn't today. I don't think it's today. Happy birthday. um, but yet, like as a Pisces, it's like whenever you're dreaming your dream reality, again, it's like you don't have to account for the challenges because they're gonna happen. You don't have to make it's like you don't have to apply a realistic filter because reality is going to make it whatever. I don't know. It's like sometimes I feel like when we think of life as always inherently having some kind of challenge, we sort of like play it up in some kind of I don't know. I don't know how to it's like we give power over the challenge or something like that. The 20th of next month. Okay. 10/20. I should be able to remember. Oh, yeah, sure. Bottom of the deck is discover the coolest card. Scan here and learn where to find collectible treatments in Bloomborough. That's the bottom. Now it's probably a token. On the other side of that is the rabbit. Oh, and it's this little like pastel rabbit. It's so cute, so adorable. Very Easter, very May, very spring. And maybe like that's the thing, because in the forest with this curious ravager or the curious forager and the ravine raider, it's like, yeah, there's gonna be some whatever's camouflage hiding in the, weeds, but there's also like, the cute little rabbit. It's not all bad. I don't know. I feel like I could have just ended this, but again, something maybe it speaks to like it's so hard to put into words. It's like when we think of the future or when we consider moving forward, I just had it now. Like there are things if only my brain could grasp it. I'm not gonna make this any longer. Sometimes maybe we feel like we haven't accomplished whatever we set our mind, like if there was a cycle or a season that we were in and we thought that like everything is going to be perfect after this is over. Sometimes when we run into challenge, we may doubt or worry or question, like, did I really do that? Because here's something else that's coming up. And it's like, well, there's always going to be challenge in life. There's always going to be something that comes up because life is just like that. It doesn't mean that you haven't successfully accomplished whatever that you set out to accomplish in the past. It doesn't mean that you are where you were in the past. It doesn't mean that you haven't grown. It doesn't mean that you're stuck in the same spiral. It doesn't inherently mean that just because you come across challenge again. Because there's always going to be some kind of challenge. And so again, it's like as you move forward in life, it doesn't have to be something that you plan for. It can just be something that you address when it comes up. And in that way, I think there is a part of us, some of us, that may want to be prepared for it. But again, it's like after you're good, after you've taken out the trash and run away, you don't have to prepare for a challenge in the same way. You don't have to plan your life around it, or you don't have to make it any, you don't have to make it take up more space than it has to. You can test it when you get there and then keep moving, or something like that. So, anyway, again, you saw a bunny yesterday? It's been a minute since I've seen a bunny. Every now and then they'll pop up in the yard. I hope you all have whatever whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in line to make all that you wish to experience your reality. I hope that whatever you need along your path journey may you find. And until next time, what's coming up next? I don't know. This was there's like this little calendar. A last quarter moon on the 24th, new moon on the 2nd of October, full moon on the 17th. I don't know. I don't know what's coming up next. Major transits. Does Pluto? I feel like there's something that goes direct in October, or something that transits in October. I don't know. I don't know. I'll see you next time you see you.